Hello everybody and welcome to episode 87 of the Chesterfield of Dreams. And no, you're not seeing things. This isn't the FA Cup final again, but it is the two teams that contested the grand stage of them all in English knockout cup football. Chesterfield at home to second placed in the league, Newcastle United. So I've got quite a bit of news to tell you guys for the basis of the club. But the most important is, of course, our league position. We are in 9th after a good run of victories. The likes of Liverpool and indeed Newcastle are building a gap for themselves. But Manchester United have been a little bit mediocre ever since we last paid attention to them. Arsenal are in 4th. Chelsea in a little bit of bother. Could be losing their manager to Juventus. They're in 5th place. Swansea, Middlesbrough and then Manchester City are the only other teams above us. Sheffield United complete the top 10, and then down from Leeds to Derby. There's a real threat of a relegation battle there. Everton are concentrating way too much on their Champions League ambitions and are struggling to stay above the drop zone. Hull have sacked Eddie Howe, and QPR are yet again battling the drop. So let's just check out the results and then the Europa League since we last met. So this would have been around, where would it have been? It would have been around the Arsenal game. Yes, how could I forget? I've been too busy doing other things. But yes, there you are. Reminder, just in case you didn't see it, we decimated Arsenal by 5 clear goals, and Stephen Kinslett scored the most with 2. We got a really poor draw though against Botef. We had every chance to win it, but Paul Groshoff lost his cool and got a second yellow card, so he was dismissed. But it was Tom Bertram who gave us an early lead, and what should have been an easy victory and qualification from the group was denied when Anton Kishelnikov equalised, and then they pushed and pushed, desperate to win the game, but they were denied by a great defensive performance, and we were able to keep a point. Against Leicester City, our winning streak came to I'm looking the wrong way, Jesus. So our winning streak then was restored with a wonderful victory away to the Citizens. It was Matai Sedlek who put them ahead. Tomas Forza gave us an equaliser, and then from a set piece, Dial Fry was able to put us 2-1 in the lead. And then Mark Davies, on loan from Manchester United, probably gave his employer something to smile about with this wonderful goal. I'll give you a look now. So bear in mind this score is 2-1 and we're desperately trying to defend our victory. This is what Mark Davis gone and did. Look at this. Bang! And it sails in the top corner. Beautifully executed by the young Welshman, and that was his first of the season. And despite an injury to Ashley Watson, it didn't prove to be too serious. He was not declared unfit. But then Guilherme Alves made it 3-2, and it gave us a little bit of the bit of his shakes, but we managed to get the win and move up in the table. And then all of a sudden the players fancy being comeback kings for some bizarre reason. We start with, of course, the Derbyshire derby. It was a deserved win, but it really had to be hard earned as Derby took the half-time lead through Isaiah Brown. But Tomas Forza, the shadow striker, managed to bag himself another brace against a black and white based team, so I couldn't be happier with that. And he was even player of the month for November, which was a very short month for us in terms of domestic commitments, but it was crucial as it didn't look like Mark Davies or Yar Messa were going to trouble the goalkeeper on that day. And then against Dynamo Kiev, we were again very complacent. All we needed was a win and we were qualified, and this is how we got it. We started off with Clayton giving Dynamo Kiev the half-time lead. Stephen Kinslett equalised, and then on came Jairo Messa to replace Michael Henning, who was injured, but he was declared injured. He was actually hurt this time. So Jairo Messa got a penalty in the 65th minute, but did score from open play in the 67th minute. And then once again we conceded in the 90th minute, but it wasn't a big deal. We defended reasonably enough and won again by 3-2. So that leaves us in the start of the Christmas period. Newcastle are, of course, the first opponents. Then we've got Hull City, Martimo to end the Europa League groups, Sheffield United, Watford, Brighton, and then Middlesbrough, and then Manchester United. So here's a look at the Europa League. To be absolutely certain that we're through, we'll go down to Group L, And there you go, Chesterfield 11 points. We cannot be caught, but we could decide the fate of the Portuguese side. We could knock them out, or we could be beaten by them, and they'll qualify in second position. But Dynamo Kiev have to win their last game against Botev to stand any chance. And just bear in mind, they did draw with them the very last time they met. But Chesterfield are group winners, that's assured. But it's interesting to see which kind of teams we'll face in the knockout round, considering the Champions League will also play its part. You can see some very interesting clubs are in this tournament, and we'll be looking forward to play against some of them. But that's mostly what I need to tell you about. We have most of our players, they're going to be fit. Just one casualty is, of course, Michael Henning. He's got a gashed leg. František Kubat is coming back from injury. Here he is. He's nearly there now. He's on his road to recovery. But the likes of Anthony Syra and Ruben Loftus-Cheek have been really upset about long-term injuries, but they're back and trying to get into the first team. Callum Cook has been upset about the lack of first team football, whereas Ruben Loftus-Cheek has felt the time to leave is coming, and I agreed with him. He's been a loyal servant ever since we bought him from Cardiff in our very first Premier League season, and he's been a great debutant for the team ever since that day. But apart from last season, he hasn't been too great. Very consistent performer, but not really a star by any means. We could definitely use our great financial position to spend a little bit extra cash in the winter. You can see I still have plenty on my bank account. But one other thing I want to mention is the international break was a great success for Alejandro Pinillos, as he was capped by Belgium and even scored a goal for the Red Devils. So they're now technically the best team in the world in real life. So well done to them. But Pinillos, the Spanish-born player, has Belgian nationality, and he has now declared for the sort of Western European nation. And then the other Benelux nation would be the Netherlands, and Jamal Hoogland was given his very first cap. So fantastic that even bigger nations than what we're used to are starting to call up our players. So more and more more signs of a bright future for the Spy-Rights. And now we can finally head into this crucial live comm against the Magpies. We'll see you there. Okay, the starting lineups are as follows. Newcastle have a very similar formation to us, but I'll have to change Tomas Forza actually. But this is basically the best team I can play. Dial Fry, Frank Reeves in defence, Linus Muller in goal, Ben Boletta and Shanahan on each wing. Then Ronnie Pino and Brian Boring in the centre of midfield. Tomas Forza will be shadow striker. Bertram and Gould are my best two wingers so far this season, are fit and raring to go. And Yair Messa, hopefully fresh from a brace in Europe, will lead us to plenty of goals. Newcastle got a very good result against Man United, a goalless draw, but it didn't help them return to the top of the summit of the Premier League, and their players are quite tired from that effort. But Karim Rekic and Sydney are among their star players, and Leleveld is also fantastic. So even if they're tired, we can't rule them out, and they'll want to go top of the league again with the I think it's an almost full programme of fixtures. But we'll head straight into the match now and hope we can beat Newcastle for the very first time in a league fixture. But of course we have the FA Cup and they don't, so that'll be something to bear in mind. Can we beat them again, even with their new manager Nick Barmby? So we are the favourites. Let's give the fans something to cheer about. Yair Messa is keen but not quite given the green bar, but everyone else bar Brian Boring is enthusiastic and ready to play. Let's give the fans of the Spy-Rights a show and see if we can get this crucial victory to start December. And that's Ronnie Pino already on the attack. And Yair Messa nearly threading through Goulden. Not quite to be. But Chesterfield definitely set the initiative. And I did forget to set Tomas Forza as a shadow striker, so please allow me to do so now. Yeah, it's very important that he's given shadow striker. Especially if he's going to bag another brace. That'll be fantastic to get his season truly underway after a difficult opening few months. And an early yellow card to Ben Boletta. We've got Sunderland scoring. That won't please Newcastle too much. Well, Forza! Not quite good enough to beat Tim Krul this time. But I'm reasonably encouraged by this. So we'll go ahead and say so to the players. Liverpool have already scored twice against their Merseyside rivals. They will go 4 points clear if this result is unchanged. And there are plenty of goals flowing in. You guys keep an eye on them for me. And here's Tomas Forza. Oh, he was trying to be fancy there, and he aimed directly into the advertising board instead of the bottom corner due to his body positioning. But this is excellent stuff from Chesterfield, and I like the look of this. Oh, Tibbling, good tackle. And here come Newcastle via Asensio. Leleveld all on his own up front. 5 are now playing defender. And here he is unmarked. Good ball, and that's a corner kick. They're not doing too well in their passing, but definitely creating chances. Muller saves from the set piece, which is what I've been training the players on for the last few weeks. We must defend those kind of dead ball situations. Lascelles given away. Brian Boring to Henrik Goulden. He's all alone on the right, or on the left, sorry. He's not done too well. Oh, Krul has played a bit of tennis with Yarmes's forehead, and he's really fortunate to be able to catch that deflected ball. But Brian Boring cutting out the danger, and we don't need too much time to score. It's 22 minutes of play. Yarmesa has broken the deadlock, 1-0, and that'll put us into 6th position. But we need to concentrate unless Bertram can score. Good save by Tim Krul. And concentrate, cleared. We're down to 8th, so my calculations are off. Goulden and Dial Fry combined, but it's over the crossbar for a goal kick. But this is more dominance from the Spirites. Brian Boring! Oh, it's a cracker! A Christmas cracker from Brian Boring. And Newcastle look dead and buried, but we have to confirm that status. But that was one of the best goals I've seen Brian Boring ever score. And he will be delighted with himself. Could this be 3-0? It is at all! What is happening to Chesterfield? We were the whipping dogs of the opening months, but now we are destroying teams, and that is a massive blow for Newcastle. 3-0 half time. Just outrageously good. I'm really pleased, and we hope that complacency is an issue. I trust these players with my professionalism and my courage, and I hope that we can keep getting the goal difference up so we can challenge the likes of Chelsea for 5th position. Yaramesa losing the ball. If Newcastle get a red card, then I will discount them from this game, but you never know. This could be an early opportunity to get a consolation goal and continue the fight back. That's a bit of shoulder barging. Good play. Sydney, Asensio, Makalou, back to Sydney and Asensio. Leleveld, not good enough. It's straight in the hands of the Swedish goalkeeper. I'd like to see us show some passion, but Newcastle are doing much better, and that's the goal. 3-1 through Leleveld. Not good enough, guys. Where is the concentration? Do we need to make a change? Yeah, I might change a midfielder. Yes, I will do that. I'll bring on Watson for Pinot. I think he'll be okay, but I'm starting to worry a little bit here. I might protect Bertram in a little while, but I don't need to rush into anything. But let's just try and concentrate, get a 4th goal, put this game to bed, and worry about next week against Hull City. Brian Boring goes for the top corner again, but not to be. Newcastle could score again. This will be a really, really bad time if they score a 3rd or a 2nd. Tibbling has intercepted very cleanly there, but Muller is able to find Tom Bertram, or he hasn't. Lazar, Makalou, and here's the left back again. Makalou, Miranda over the bar. Right, here we go. We're going to make a second change unless Bertram can whip it. This dead ball in. Boring, Watson, and Reeves to Boring, Bertram, and Forza. Great save by Tim Krul. And the referee obviously has to award the corner. Goulden, no, he didn't make it. Yara Mesa, Goulden, back to Mesa. Great interplay, and it's gone over the bar. Oops. Substitution time. I want to play Saira, but there's not much I can do with him, is there? I might take off Ben Boletta. That's what I'll do. He's on the yellow card, of course. So Saira, back from injury, will be our new centre-back. And I might play Pinilios for Bertram. Yeah, I think Bertram could do with a rest. But look how big his green ring is. It's nearly 5 stars. And that is exemplary from the German. He's in the form of his life. And he's attracting great attention from bigger clubs, but I'm not going to budge whatsoever with my prospect. But now this could be sort of squeaky bum time. I don't want a second goal to go in. We're losing this half 1-0, but we're 3-1 to the good. And we just need to keep our focus and we'll be okay. But Mesa wants to do more than just focus. And here's Pinilios, the Belgian. And that's saved by Tim Krul. Right down to the wire, that one. And Forza this time over the bar. I want to tighten up just a little bit. Tibbling, Sydney, good play. Oh, and over the bar. Not many shots are hitting the target, especially for Newcastle. Just 4 have actually been successful for them. And they were heading into the final few minutes. Boring intercepts. That's a long ball. Flanagan to Krul. Rakic, hopeful ball, not good enough, and Chesterfield will clean up the danger. Forza to Mesa, he's only got one option, but he does go backwards. Goulden, oh, unlucky, and Leleveld all on his own, but he's got backup, and Watson takes him out. It's a clean tackle according to the referee, and Mesa can just stroll into the box, but the star player for Newcastle is down, and his game might be over. It might just be over, and we're going to check on that one now. Leleveld, he is injured. That's 10 men left for Newcastle. Oh, that's a shame. I feel bad. I hope he's not gone for too long, but it's a deserved victory for the Spyrites. I can't compensate Newcastle with my kindness here today. They have not been good enough, but their star man has been taken down in an innocuous challenge, and I hope he's okay. That's a good save by Linus Muller to conclude this live com. Can we concentrate on this last set piece? It'll be really good if we do. And it's easy peasy for Brian Boring. There will be a little bit of extra added time, but the Chesterfield fans will be absolutely delighted. It's a 4-1 win, and their home form is back to where it should be. Absolutely stupendous. Man of the match, according to the game, is Brian Boring, and I don't blame that decision. His goal was out of this world, but Tom Bertram deserves immense credit too, as does Mesa for another brace. I did hasten to mention it's another brace for the Spaniard captain, and that was a deserved victory. I'm sorry for the injury one more time. I hope it's not too bad, but again, you can't really complain. It's a 4-1 win. Our goal difference is +8, and the likes of Chelsea and Arsenal are within our reach. Can we get back in the top 4? You never know. We'll just conclude the episode now, and if you're interested, I might be streaming FIFA over the weekend. That's to be confirmed, but my Twitch is the same as my Twitter, or what would it be? My what would it be the same as my... I'm not too sure, but anyway, my Twitch is ONH5. Yeah, the same as my YouTube, of course. So my Twitch is twitch.tv/ONH5. That'll be in the description. And if I do find time to stream FIFA, I'll let you know on Twitter. But some big results coming in, including Liverpool winning the Merseyside derby, Middlesbrough thrashing Brighton, Sunderland getting the job done there, and so on and so forth. QPR also doing really well. But that gives us a real platform to build upon this long Christmas break. Everton sack Mark Hughes after a wonderful season gone by. They've been very good in the Champions League, but that's an obvious sacking. So he won't be able to take Everton through to the knockout round of the Champions League due to poor league performances. But Chesterfield will not have to worry about that. We are through in the Europa League. we are settled in the Premier League, and Leleveld has been hurt for just a week. He was tackled on the leg, but he's received concussion as per the game's random generator of injuries. But 100 league appearances for Brian Boring, and he did mark it with a stunning goal. So let's mark an episode to come back on. Well, I'm going to rule out going to Old Trafford. We never do well there. How about... Yeah, this Middlesbrough game on the Sunday will be good. That'll be difficult so soon after the 26th, but I believe we can handle it. But we'll be qualifying from the Europa League, and we'll hopefully be talking about top 4 finishes again come May. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you again soon. Bye bye.